Okay, let's get started. That damn piece of hair is driving me nuts. It's just like curled down at the bottom. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the raid, Olive. I'm gonna let this play a little bit. It's a long outro. So do all the good things while we're here, please. Tap the screen, share the live. Happy Earth Day. We're going to end it there because it's got like 30 more seconds of outro. But hello, good morning, good afternoon to those of you on the East Coast. I appreciate you guys being here today. Make sure we're doing all of the good things over here on TikTok. Make sure you are tapping that screen, sharing the live out, doing your daily heart me if you have not done so. Make sure that you can share it out to like 5 of your friends. You can repost it. You can add it to your story. That all does help push us on the algorithm. I see you guys are killing the goal. So we are already at the finger hearts today. We did 3 little like penny goals, and now we're on to the finger hearts. So thank you guys so much for helping out with that. I appreciate it. Don't forget that I do have my gift gallery too. If you are so able, if you click on my profile picture up in the corner and it brings up my little C5 gift gallery, if you're able to accomplish one of those goals, that would be awesome. I would love to accomplish all of them, light the entire gallery up for the week. Cool. I'm also multi-streaming. If you are over there on YouTube, and if you could do a little thumbs up and like the stream, that would be awesome. You can also subscribe over there or become a member. All those things over there are as well. Super chats are also an easier way on YouTube for me to see your messages just in case it's going by too fast. And over there on Twitch, I see you guys. You guys can follow for free. You guys can subscribe over there. And yeah, there's stickers over on Twitch, which is fun. And you can send things like bits. How's everybody doing today? Work life.
Wow.
Oh, wow. How long did he yell for?
How long did we yell for?
How long did that guy keep yelling for after I...
Probably about 20 minutes.
Like total time?
Yeah. I'd have to relook at the numbers.
Also, yes, Peter, thank you for reminding me. If you are over there on Twitch and you do pay for Prime, you get 1 free Prime sub a month. So if you choose me to be your pre-Prime, that's free Prime sub, I would appreciate it. That would be awesome. Yeah. Okay, we will get started here today.
Don't be a normal sub, be a Prime.
Also, I have my 100 goal that I have every single day, guys. This is my job. This is what I do for a living. This is how I pay bills. This is how I save money. So if you guys could contribute to that, I would appreciate it so much. The links are in the link tree in my bio. That's Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, and you can send a lovely little message that I can read, which, what's that? Did somebody say therapy and I missed it, Chicky? What is that? W's to Chicky for the $20 on the Blue app for therapy. Oh, it was a typo.
Oh, I got the same one. Mine said therapy. Wait, what does it say?
Therapy. There's a PH in there.
Yeah, that's what mine said.
Sometimes
but we love Chicky W. Chicky. Chicky is never Prime sub. Chicky Dommy Mommy.
True. So now it's down to 80, guys. So that's a great way to start the day. Thank you, Chicky. Do it for Earth Day is crazy. I still didn't fuck with Nightbot yesterday. I lied to y'all and said I was going to go in and make Nightbot not as much of a Karen, and I messed that up, and so I'm sorry I didn't do that. Okay, so we're going to get started with our outline, but remember, Trump supporters, as you are coming in here today, if you would like to describe to me or educate the dummy leftist why you're supporting Trump with factually based information, I would love to hear that factually based information and not your big feelings. All I've heard this morning have been feelings. So if you would like to do that, you can call at 509-795-0412 and have a conversation with me. I will ask you to source your info, but I doubt you will. Okay. We're going to start the day with polls. Here is, what's this one? Did I do this one? No, I don't think so. All right. So here is our Red Bull, good boy, golden retriever, Harry Enton with some polling on tariffs to get us started with our day.
Dude, just take the L, man. Just take the L. The tariffs were the biggest unforced political error that I can recall in a long period of time. Because if you're looking for just one turning point in terms of when Donald Trump went underwater, it was right around Liberation Day, man. Just take a look here. Trump's negative net approval rating. Every poll since March 29, 2025, right? Liberation Day was just a few days later. That means that Donald Trump, there hasn't been a single poll that meets CNN's standards for reporting in which he has had anything but a negative net approval rating for 389 days. As I said, dude, just take the L. Tariffs are a terrible political thing for you, my man.
Why were the tariffs really this sort of key to seeing this downturn in the polls?
Yeah.
Well, maybe because he ran on it. That might be a start, is that he campaigned on tariffs being this great thing, and they turned out not to be because y'all didn't know what a tariff was. The two biggest searches, Google searches, that were done the day after the election was, what is a tariff and can I change my vote? Because they're very educated. No, actually, Grant, Democrats are not against tariffs. What we are against are, which I'm not even a Democrat, but what they and we are against are blanket tariffs, because we understand that you can have beneficial targeted tariffs to bring in an industry that we can build. I don't know why we were tariffing a country full of penguins that weren't producing anything. Do you see how that doesn't necessarily make any sense? Or things like bananas that we can't make and mass produce enough for our country. Things like that. If you wanted to do a trade deal where you added regulation that it could not be, it would have to be ethically sourced. Totally fine with that. We would agree and jump on that. You guys don't care about that.
Yeah, because, Trump, obviously, he ran on tariffs, right? But the idea was much more popular in practice than it actually, or as an idea than it actually was in practice. Because just take a look here. I mean, this just gives you the name of the game. Americans on Trump and tariff in the 2024 election versus Kamala Harris. Look at this. Trump was trusted more on tariffs by 12 points. But look at his net approval rating down. Look at that. That's an over 40-point shift away from.
Thor, to be fair, I'm not sure. To be fair, I would love to see that if that is a high Google search after every election. It's totally possible because people don't understand the election system. I'm just saying that what is a tariff was one of the top ones, if not the top one, next to can I change my vote? And that's an issue for me that they didn't look it up beforehand.
From the President of the United States, he's 48 points underwater with independence on tariffs. This is just a political disaster, and the longer he drags it out, the more and more it can hurt his political standing.
Well, it certainly hurt the economies, not just the people's pockets, businesses' pockets, but also the world. Did anyone benefit from this when it comes to like global leaders?
Mods over on YouTube, let them crash out. As long as they're not slurring, I don't care what they say. They can say TDS, they can cry saying that I've advocated for open borders, which has never happened. But let's keep the audience over there. As long as they're not slurring out, they're fine.
Yeah, the people who stood up against Donald Trump. That's who benefited from it. I mean, just take a look here. I mean, Mark Carney, obviously in Canada, look at this. His net approval rating plus 24 points. How about the president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum? Look at this, plus 41 points on the net approval rating. So the people who stood up to Trump on tariffs, those are the people who benefited versus Donald Trump. When he went up against these world leaders, well, he just went right straight into the political basement.
Because you can put money on just about anything these days, when these companies are looking at these prediction markets are looking at this, what do people think about whether or not these companies are going to try to get relief?
Yeah, okay, so the companies at this point are trying to get political relief, Sarah Seidner, but what about the people themselves, right? What about the chance that you actually get a stimulus check, sent out by the end of 2026? The chance has been going down. It was 44%. Look at this. It's now 11%. So the American people aren't going to get relief, at least according to the prediction markets, on something that they desperately hate very, very much. I said a political disaster for.
Oh no, where are those? We talked about it yesterday. The tariff shelf that we were supposed to get all this relief from. We were going to get checks. We were going to get stimmies from it. He was going to pay down the debt from it. What happened to that? Where'd that go?
Donald Trump from start to finish.
Yeah, there was a $2,000 check that people had heard him say. This was sort of around the time when he said it, and now it ain't happening. It's going to happen. Harry Enton, you know what's happening? You are, buddy.
I'm happening. We're happening.
Whatever that means. We'll get into more polling, but from there, I am going to, again, show you guys know nothing and you allow them to lie to you. And I don't know why you allow them to lie to you. This was Scott Bessent in regards to tariffs, talking about the fact that corporations are now able to ask for refunds on the tariffs that they paid, because who pays a tariff? You guys are going to get it wrong. And so then Bessent is going to lie to y'all, and y'all are too stupid to realize he's lying.
On Monday of next week, importers can start requesting claims for tariff refunds. And my understanding is $127 billion eligible for refunds. What's that process look like? How can a porter and an importer request such a refund going forward?
That's not being run out of Treasury. We will just be the paymaster. So that's being run out of CPB. Yep.
And so explain that process. I understand you're not running it. How does that process actually work? if you're an importer, you paid these tariffs, the Supreme Court found that those tariffs were illegal, what's the process for them to get back that money?
Well, they would be in touch with the CPB, and I think the number you're quoting is so that's the amount who have already requested refunds. So they are already in the chute, and we'll see what the timeline is for that.
Will that affect the U.S. economy, all of those refunds coming out of the U.S. Treasury?
We'll have to see what comes out, and we'll have to see what the companies do with them. Just to be clear, thanks to the Supreme Court, some of this money is going back to China.
That's not true. Unless we've allowed for Chinese corporations to be in the United States importing from China. That's the lie.
So is that going to affect the U.S. economy? I don't know.
Except they don't. It's fucking smirk at the end. Grant, you keep saying all I do is silence fact. Give me fact. Call in and educate me, since apparently I don't know what I'm talking about. Go ahead. Try. I would love you to do that. Who pays for a tariff, friends? No, they're not, Shebin. No, they're not. Shebin said they are literally trying to make investigating fraud and bringing it to the public attention illegal in California. Let's talk about that, actually. I meant to put that on the outline and I didn't. Let's move over to that. Ready? AB 2624. You don't know it because you didn't read it. California legislation introduced legislation. Okay? Okay. This is in California. You guys are colloquially calling it the Stop Nick Shirley Act. That's not what it's called at all. But let's go to it, shall we? Okay. From the actual source, not from a Google AI overview, since you guys don't read. Legislative Council's Digest. Existing law authorizes designated healthcare services providers, employees, volunteers, and patients and individuals who face threats of violence or harassment from the public because of their affiliation with a designated healthcare services facility to complete an application to be approved by the Secretary of State for the purposes of enabling state and local agencies to respond to requests for public records without disclosing a program participant's resident address contained in any public record and otherwise provide for confidentiality of identity for that person subject to specified conditions. Existing law defines designated healthcare services to mean gender-affirming healthcare services or reproductive healthcare services. Under existing law, any person who makes a false statement in an application is guilty of a misdemeanor. Again, this is talking about existing law. So let's go to what this bill would do. This bill would similarly establish an address confidentiality program for a designated immigration support services provider, employee, or volunteer as defined who faces threats of violence or harassment from the public because of their affiliation with a designated immigration support services facility. This bill would additionally prohibit a person, business, or association from soliciting, selling, or trading on the internet the personal information or image of a designated immigration support services provider, employee, or volunteer with the intent described above. The bill would also prohibit a person from posting on it's been scratched out, so we say internet, as described above, the personal information or image of a designated immigration support services provider, employee, or volunteer, or other individuals residing at the same home address. The bill would define various terms for these purposes by imposing new duties on local agencies and creating new crimes. This bill would create a state-mandated local program. So what that means is that Nick Shirley can keep doing his bullshit that he was late on, okay? What Nick Shirley was late on, which I described to you before, is that California already knew that there was fraud going on in the hospice licensing department. How did they know that? Because they stopped issuing licenses for hospices in 2022. So they knew. You didn't know. Nick Shirley didn't know. They knew. California stopped issuing hospice licenses in 2022. So that they could go and investigate the fraud. And you can't do that if you're actively giving out new licenses. So they stopped giving out licenses so that they can investigate it. So Nick Shirley didn't uncover anything. So if someone investigates fraud and brings it to the public's attention, nothing will happen to the investigator legally. to the public's, not if, as long as they, so like Nick Shirley can still go do his thing. He cannot reveal their address, their like personal address, their residence address, and he cannot reveal their name. He can reveal their business address, and he can reveal their business name. He absolutely is still allowed to do that under this law. And any journalist, if you want to call him that, he can't read, but any journalist is allowed to do that. They're just not allowed to dox private residences that are not businesses, right? Residence addresses or their names. So that video where he walked around filming children, that he's not allowed to do. So again, that's the issue here. I don't have any issue with Nick Shirley going out and doing shit that he's late on. He can go be late on investigation all he fucking wants to. That's totally fine with me. What we're saying is he is not allowed to trade on that information either, or put people in danger by revealing their personal residence. That's all. Why can't you guys read it? No, I am not for Nick. He didn't discover anything. Again, California stopped issuing hospice insurance licenses in 2022. They continue to pay for the people who was committing fraud, not after you found them committing fraud. No, you would put a pause on that. He was not carrying around a newspaper. We watched the entire 40-minute video on this stream. You can go back. We watched the entire 40-minute video. The only thing he is allowed to reveal is public record. Their personal residences would not be public record. Their name would not be public record. Their business address would be public record. Their business name would be public record. Totally fine. I will have this in my outline for anybody who wants to read it. Okay, getting back to the outline. Since you guys can't read. It's not even called the Stop Nick Shirley Act. That's just what you're colloquially calling it. Just like the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida, right? It was never called that. That's not what the name is on the bill. Okay? Okay. Personal residence should be public record. That's how you put people in danger, Thor. That's bad. All right, let's go to Enton on congressional approval. Congress is not popular right now. And specifically what he's going to get into at the end is Congress is not popular, particularly with the GOP. And guess what? You guys are the ones in charge of it. So it's very interesting. That's like, Democrats won't do this. You guys have the fucking majority. Figure it out. It's your turn now. Do it.
You know, I just want to say to Congress, stand up and applaud. You're usually hated.
Aw, Thor, I said that would put people in danger, and Thor said, okay, and good for you. You're such a humanist.
But usually not this hated. You're reaching, or at least tying record highs in terms of disapproval. Hello, 86% of Americans disapprove of Congress. That is tied with November.
Not shocked. This does not shock me at all. And honestly, the approval for Congress would probably be low regardless of who was president. I would say that congressional approval was probably low under Biden. I would have to look. It was probably low under Trump's first term. It was probably low under Obama. I doubt that people have a high favorability for Congress.
Of 2013 for the all-time high. As I said, Congress usually hated, but usually not this hated. You're actually managing to tie records. Just 10%. Just 10% of Americans approve of the job that Congress is doing. So therefore, as
you're right, Elle, they probably don't know what colloquial means. You're probably right.
As I said, stand up and give yourselves a round of applause. You managed to do it. Congratulations.
Or walk away in shame.
Rib tip, can you show me reporting that over the last 10 weeks, over 400 hospice centers have been shut down? Can you show me that? You said over the last 5 years, Cali has shut down 280. You're saying over the last 10 weeks, 400 have been shut down. Can you show me that? And again, if you watched the Nick Shirley video, you would understand it's not hospice centers. It was people who do the insurance, the middleman between the patient and the care facility. That is what they were talking about. So I don't think you know what you're talking about. So you can't give away information that social media and advertisement companies buy and sell and trade anyways. No, you can't. And you know what? Sheben, I would absolutely agree with you. Let's make a law in Congress, this disapproved Congress, but let's make a law so that social media can't trade on our information. Are you with me? Cool. Let's do it together. I'm glad that we found common ground. I'm with you.
10% approval. Like, give us some context to what all of this means in comparison with other things.
Okay, so you see this 10% approval, and I just was searching my head. I was like, okay, what else basically has 10% of the population by their side? Just take a look here. Okay, Americans who say that the moon landing was faked back in 1969. Sarah's side, they're off on the side laughing. More Americans say that the moon landing was fake back in 1969 than actually approve of the job that Congress is doing right now at 10%. That 10% is equal to the
I don't know why we're comparing it to the moon land. I don't know why. I don't know why Enton's doing this. I don't.
percentage of Americans that
Just a rage bait, maybe?
believe that the Earth is flat. Of course, we did not fake the moon landing. We did land on the moon. And of course, the Earth.
Yes, actually, Age, I literally started my period yesterday. It is. Thanks. If you guys want to contribute to some fucking chocolate and snacks funds, but by the way, I am always this condescending. Even when I'm not on my period. But if you guys want to contribute to that fund, I have 80 left in my goal. The links are in the link tree in my bio, the Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, if we want to buy me period snacks, because, you know, they're scared of menstrual cycles. So, guys, and keep tapping that screen. Let's get on our way to that 25K.
Is actually a sphere, my dear friends.
That's the one that made me
It's round.
Oh, you were talking to the maggots? I apologize, Age. I was like, but I am. Like, you're right.
laugh because
Yes.
this
It's not flat. You can't walk off the edge of the Earth, but apparently the same percentage believe that Congress is a job well done.
that is brutal. When you look at this, what does this tell you about sort of where Americans' minds are and why they are so annoyed or pissed with Congress?
Yeah, pissed is a great word. Perturbed is another one. I like my peas early in the morning. But I would just say this. You see this 10%, right? You go, how the heck did we end up here? You know, Republicans control the House. Republicans control the Senate. But yet, Republicans have actually turned on this Congress. Just take a look here. I mean, just look at this. Congress's net approval rating among the
Aw, Lib Slayer, we're going to get into that. Just hold your horses.
GOP. Back in March of 2025, it was plus 33%. That was the net approval. Down it goes to minus 56. What is that? That's like an 89-point move over a little bit years' time. No wonder at this point Congress is facing record high disapproval rating because even Republicans and their party controls Congress absolutely despises it.
Wow, those numbers are abysmal. I don't know what Congress can do to fix them.
There's nothing. I mean, maybe they can walk off
Okay.
the edge of the flat Earth.
I was going to say, I got one thing they can do. They could actually give a budget, approve a budget. Which
They
is
could
like their
actually
number
do
one
something,
job.
do something. Then maybe people might actually like you.
There you go, Kate.
Ate you up on that one, didn't they? They sure did. Okay. But even Fox is starting to have issues. This is Fox News talking about their concern about young voters. Because we've seen the polling on young voters. It's not going well.
There are concerns, though, about what young voters are going to do in the midterms. In the most recent Fox News poll, nearly 2/3 of voters under 30 said they disapprove of President Trump's job performance. Democrats are trying to capitalize on that.
So that was a Fox poll. Okay? Just so we're clear. Because you guys like to yell. Julius, how are you today? Okay. You can go ahead and call again, and then I can pick up your call now, since Julius left. Caller. No? Okay. Then we got a lovely AP Nork poll showing new warning signs for the president because his approval on the economy is falling. Ooh, disapproval. 70% of adults who disapprove of how President Donald Trump is handling the economy. Yikes on bikes. That's not good, is it? This poll was conducted April 16th through the 20th, during which time the Strait of Hormuz was reopened by Iran, then closed again, an example of the whiplash that has characterized the conflict. The president's policies and pronouncements has often been at odds with each other. Gasoline prices, which he promised to slash, jumped after the U.S. attacked Iran in February. His tariffs have kept much of the economy in limbo, and hiring has slowed, despite his boasts of a golden age. Only 33% of U.S. adults approve of Trump's overall job performance, down slightly from 38% last month. Trump's falling approval ratings could create problems for his party as it tries to defend House and Senate majorities in the midterm elections. The poll finds that Trump is especially weak on cost of living, and enthusiasm about Trump's performance has waned over the past year among his supporters. So, shocker. Bad polls for Trump. I just have to show them to you, just so you're aware. Yeah, there were bad polls for Biden, too, during the time. Why? Because he was being a fucking idiot about the economy. The economy was doing better by stock market metrics, but that doesn't mean anything to anybody. But since we're going to do a whataboutism with Biden, we're going to do a whataboutism with Trump and his mental capacity.
And this is in addition to everything that we can see for ourselves. From those strange and sleepy cabinet meetings to the chaotic and scary social media posts that he types out at all hours of the night, where he fights with the Pope and threatens to end an entire civilization. So it should come as no surprise that Americans are worried as well, and that they're saying so. A new Reuters Ipsos poll out today finds 71% of Americans do not consider the president to be even-tempered. That includes 46 Republicans. 51% of Americans, including 54% of independents, say his mental sharpness has gotten worse over the past year.
Chest said pounds tears. I think you missed an I in there. I think you meant to say libs tears, but you spelled pounds. Pounds tears.
And polling over the past few weeks shows a growing number.
Oh, Hexy, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it in the YouTube chat. What about Biden? Oh, wait.
What about Biden?
There you go.
Number of voters who do not trust his decision-making around the war. Mind you, all of these numbers came out before that bombshell Wall Street Journal reporting about aides keeping him away, and before whatever reporting might come out next, because after a year plus of few to no leaks about the internal workings of the White House, we are suddenly starting
No, Sparky, no.
to hear a whole lot more from well-connected reporters, which means folks on the inside, folks who were handpicked for their loyalty, could be starting to get worried as well.
Really, you can call. The number's up. The person who called before, I couldn't answer because there was somebody on the panel. You can try and call again, and we can have a conversation. Okay. Let's move on to some news that we got last night, which is that Virginia approved of their redistricting. Now, it was not a landslide of a victory as it was in California's, but they still did the damn thing. A win is a win, and they'll take it. So you got that. Now, remember, I played you the video yesterday of Donald Trump talking about how bad that would be for him, even though he was the one who started this. He ordered Republicans, specifically Republicans in Texas, to redistrict in a mid census year. We don't do that. They usually do it after every census, every 10 years, there is redistricting. A state like mine in Colorado, we do independent redistricting. So we have an independent commission come in and do redistricting. That's how we ended up with the district I'm in. Actually, we are the newest district that was added because of the amount of population growth we've had in Colorado. You don't usually do it after only 5 years. Donald Trump directed the Republicans to do it after 5 years because he is trying to win back seats, because he knows they're going to get fucking crushed. Yes, 2032 is going to be a mess. And now, instead of going along with the Democrats who have been yelling and railing for years that, hey, I don't think we should do this way, we shouldn't gerrymander this way, it should always be independent redistricting commissions that do this based off of population size, how we split the districts, and not just up to Democratic or Republican politicians in the state. Let's sign a federal gerrymandering ban. And Republicans have been like, for years, never signed on to doing that. Maybe now they will, because what they did is they played with fire, and now they're getting burned. And so here's Scott Jennings crying about his approval of how Texas did it, which we'll talk about, and now how he doesn't like Virginia.
That's a no. I don't really have a problem with states making decisions about this. What I have a problem with in this case, look, Texas did what they did. They had a right to do it.
Sure, okay. They had a right to do it, okay.
Virginia did what they did. What I have a problem with in Virginia is you had a fair map, and you also had.
Oh, was Texas not a fair map with the amount of red that was in there and that they were trying to get rid of blue? Did Texas ask their voters beforehand if they should do this? Look, Surgeon, you guys pulled it off, okay, but it was barely. Let's be honest here. Did Texas ask the voters? I will debate you. Nobody's calling in. You want me to prove to you? You guys do this all the time. I think I saved myself. Oh, maybe I didn't save my contact. It's fine. I can type it.
Virginians actually voted for this, so.
Right, and that's the difference.
What do we think, Curls?
That's me. So the number works.
Are you gonna pick up? No.
To myself, that'd be a hell of an echo, I'm sure. We would love that.
I did Curls.
So again, Texas. Ooh, it's pretty. No, I love that.
Thanks.
So
Back to shitting on Texan.
Texas did not ask the voters before they decided to do this. California did. They put it as a ballot measure, so the voters got to decide. Virginia did. So they asked the voters to decide, and they decided.
Had an independent commission draw it, and you also had the governor, new governor, tell the people of Virginia during her campaign she wasn't going to do it. So this whole thing was built on lies, and the ballot question, if you read it, was a total joke. You showed the map of the districts. They're a complete joke. And so I think what they've done is they basically disenfranchised.
The voters voted for this.
It's
like against democracy. It's against democracy to argue you're against the voters.
I'm a Republican.
But Scott Jennings doesn't like it. Right, she wasn't going to push for it. Just like California had a provision in theirs, right? California had a provision in their redistricting, which was that it would dissolve and would not go into effect if Texas stopped. But Texas didn't stop. So California's went into effect as well. And guess what? They tried to sue California for doing the exact same thing they did in Texas. California won. Here's Jesse Waters. You're going to see him talk about Texas first and how this is great. We love this. And then his face when Virginia did what they did last night is priceless.
This party is delirious, and the Republican Party has to take full advantage at this point. We have to kick the illegals out of the country, we have to kick them out of the census, and we have to gerrymander to the tilt. Why? Because the Democratic Party...
We have to. Did you hear that? We have to gerrymander to the tilt. I think he means to the hilt. He's using the wrong phrase. He said to the tilt. That's not what that means. To the hilt. Because of the Democrats.
Cannot be trusted to be the opposition party anymore. They have to have a permanent minority.
Oh, we need to gerrymander the Democrats into a permanent minority. That was when Texas was doing theirs, and he was all for it. Let's look at his face after last night.
Fox News alert. According to the AP, voters in Virginia have approved Democrats' plan to gerrymander congressional districts 50 to 49. This could flip 4 House seats from Republican control to Democrats.
Little boys who play with fire get their fingers burned. Yes, Audie, I absolutely can. Maybe you guys will get on the same page with us about wanting to ban gerrymandering. That would be a good idea. I would love to see that get put into Congress and be a bipartisan issue. I would love to see that. Huh.
Ari, I curled my hair for our co-hosting date.
Can I get W's, please, in the chat for Subu34 for the $15 on the Blue app. They said, love the show. Thank you for the work you put into this. Thank you so much for supporting and watching. I appreciate you so much. I have to do math now.
W, Subu. What do you mean you have to do math now?
Leave me alone. See? That's fine.
No, it's not 65.
It is. It absolutely is. Yeah.
Look at me. Common Core didn't leave me behind.
It left me behind. I'm very aware of this. It's fine. I'm good at other things.
Wait. I just work here.
All right, let's get to other news. Let's get to some shitting on some Democrats. I like to do that too. So let's shit on some Democrats.
Are we gonna talk about Chuck Schumer?
No, I don't have that one in here today either, but I
Yeah.
can portion.
Congressional correspondent Manu Raju is on Capitol Hill. And Manu, there was a bit of a deadline happening this afternoon, and I guess she's sort of beating the buzzer here with this resignation.
Yeah, there's no question about it. She was facing a certain vote for expulsion from the United States House, and that's only happened 6 times in the history of the House. And typically what members do is that if they're facing the likelihood of being expelled for
I will talk about that in a minute, Lip Slayer. I'm going through the news. This is Sheila, I never say her middle part of her name right, but Sheila McCormick, finally resigned from fucking Congress. Good. I'm glad they didn't have to go through the expulsion, but they did have to file the expulsion to get her to fucking resign, which is disgusting. Bitch, you knew you were under an ethics investigation. You are being investigated for using campaign funds for private use. That's a fucking problem. Disgusting. I am glad she's gone. Now, when will Corey Mills decide to leave? Because he has also been accused of using campaign funds on private use. He's also been accused of sexual assault and domestic violence. I saw that, Ari. I meant to talk about that she had planned and promoted a thing with Jasmine Crockett. And I was wondering if Jasmine Crockett was going to pull out. Because what the fuck are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? So I'm glad she's fucking gone.
Has Jasmine said anything yet?
I don't know. I'd have to look.
alleged misconduct. They resigned and give up their seat to avoid that outcome. And that's exactly what Sheila Terfilus McCormick just did, because she decided to announce her resignation, which was just read on the House floor, because the House Ethics Committee was about to recommend what sanctions to move ahead with in the aftermath of finding her guilty in its own investigation into misconduct, largely involving her use of funds. There's allegations that she stole $5 million in COVID relief money, diverting that to
I'm sorry, not campaign funds, COVID relief money, which we knew Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene did something similar as well.
Herself, rather than it being used for its proper use. She has denied all of that, but she's facing federal charges in that case. She's pleaded not guilty in the federal criminal case, but the House Ethics Probe, a separate investigative body,
I wonder if it paid for this ugly brooch.
Here in the United States House found her guilty on a number of charges here, about 25 violations of various House rules, and was expected to announce that she should be expelled. And if she were to face that recommendation, then there would be a vote in the full House, and you can bet that in that vote there would be a very likely scenario in which it would surpass a 2/3 majority in the United States House to kick her out from her House seat. So facing all that, she decided to resign, and she put out a statement, putting it out on social media, saying that this was not a fair process. She said that she criticized the Ethics Committee, saying they refused my attorney's reasonable request for time to prepare for my defense. And she went on to say that this should not have been going forward when she is fighting her own criminal charges. She said that she chose to step away so that she can devote my time to fighting for my neighbors in Florida's 20th district. So she said, I hereby resign from the 119th Congress, effective immediately. And
that's where it's difficult, because it is innocent until proven guilty in this country. However, I think that there's a little bit of a gray area with Congress where if you are under that kind of investigation, if you're innocent, okay, great, then we fucked up. Then run for your seat again. But if you're guilty, I don't want you sitting while there's an investigation going on where you are not representing your constituents. I don't fucking want that. So that's difficult, where she is innocent until proven guilty, but also maybe you shouldn't be in your fucking seat while this is going on.
Well, and it's always so interesting to me, because when people talk about these things, I tend to see the person who is being investigated always call it a scandal.
Right.
And that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Personally.
No, just say I want to see, just be honest and say I want to see the investigation follow through or something like that.
Right.
I need Jesus.
I love the Lord.
I love him. Grant says, unless you're Trump, and then it's, which he used the wrong you're, then it's guilty until proven innocent. Well, Which ones? Because we've found him guilty on 34 felony counts. That was done. That was done. All his other cases hasn't gone through.
Spares a lot of Democrats a tough vote. Some Democrats allied with her.
It's totally fine that there's a phone call because I'm done with that anyway. I'm glad she's gone. Oh. Hi, friend. How are you?
Good. The phone's working fine. Just people don't want to call because they're scared shitless.
You just wanted to test, just to make sure.
Yeah, so what the fuck. Anyway, I turned 58 today, so I cannot no longer say I'm 57. This kind of sucks.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
All right, you have a good time. Keep kicking ass. Talk to you later, babe. Bye.
Bye.
I love him so much.
He's just showing you. Yeah, he's just showing you. Call lines are open, Grant. You big baby. But you don't have any facts, so you can't do that. Okay, let's see.
I would take that man for coffee, but I don't know if he'd drink coffee. Maybe a beer. I don't drink beer, but I would sit and enjoy a beer with Minnesota guy.
All right, let's go to the Southern Poverty Law Center stuff real quick while we're here. I'm going to bring up this video from Todd Blanche, the acting attorney general after Pam Bondi was fired. Pam Bondi was fired to ensure that she wouldn't testify in front of Congress, even though she still technically would be required to, so she has just skipped out on a subpoena. We love that, except Congress has no teeth to enforce anything about that, so she was just able to run. Awesome. But the acting AG has gotten an indictment on the Southern Poverty Law Center, okay, for supposed fraud in way of funding hate groups. We're going to get into the actual indictment, but I'm going to play this video specifically because I don't think he understands what an indictment is. You guys probably don't either.
I just want to make sure I understand. You're alleging that the Southern Poverty Law Center was paying the leaders of KKK and other groups to continue their operations? Is that?
I'm not alleging it. The grand jury returned an indictment that says that. And so.
What is an indictment? Is an indictment a form of proof?
No.
Oh, let's see what the Cornell Law School says on indictment. An indictment formally charges a person with a crime. During an indictment proceeding, a grand jury determines if there is adequate basis for bringing criminal charges against a suspected criminal actor. An indictment is one of two options a prosecutor has to formally charge a person with a criminal offense.
Because if that's their argument, then all of Trump's indictments means that he's guilty of all of those.
It's an accusation. Okay.
They're so silly.
Paying the leaders of KKK and other groups to continue their operations? Is that?
I'm not alleging it. The grand jury returned an indictment that says that. And so what the investigation found, according to the indictment that was returned today, is that they were paying. So the Southern Poverty Law Center is raising money, asking folks to give them money to dismantle racism, and over a very long period of time. They were using some of the money they raised from donors to pay to, they called them field, basically to informants.
Informants, okay.
For information, for access, to just pay them for certain, to do certain things.
To do what? What kind of information? What was the goal, do you think, of the Southern Poverty Law Center in paying informants on the inside? What do you think the goal was there?
And so, yes, that's exactly what the indictment charges.
Is it? Let's get into that. You guys don't like to read, but I do. Okay, let me highlight this so I know where I am. Then we'll answer the call. Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for? Okay. So here's the indictment. You can get it from justice.gov, okay, from justice.gov's website. If you look here in the corner, that's justice.gov. If you look it up, they will have the hyperlink to the actual indictment of the United States of America v. Southern Poverty Law Center. So, let's read it. The grand jury charges. The Southern Poverty Law Center's stated mission included the dismantling of white supremacy and confronting hate across the country. However, unbeknownst to donors, some of their donated money was being used to fund the leaders and organizers of racist groups, including the Ku Klux Klan, the Aryan Nation, and the National Alliance. The SLPC's paid informants, field sources, what they were called, engaged in the active promotion of racist groups at the same time that the SPLC was denouncing the same groups on its website. The SPLC also had a field source who was a member of the online leadership chat group that planned the 2017 Unite the Right event in Charlottesville, Virginia. You know, good people on both sides. That field source made racist postings under the supervision of the SPLC and helped coordinate transportation to the event for several attendees. In order to covertly pay its field source, the SPLC opened bank accounts connected to a series of fictitious entities. The covert nature of the accounts allowed the SPLC to disguise the true nature, source, ownership, and control of the fraudulently obtained donated money the SPLC paid the field sources. In order to keep the scheme going, the SPLC made a series of false statements related to the operation of the accounts. Now, that is what the United States is presenting in front of the jury. Okay. Before we get into this, though, to be clear, I'm not stating opinion on guilt or innocence. I want to see what happens with the case. But you guys were very, very notorious for saying that you can indict a ham sandwich. It can be very, very easy to get indictments. It's not so easy to keep them. Is it, Letitia James? Is it, James Comey? Is it, Jack Smith? Is it? Oh. Having a hard time there, aren't we? So an indictment can be charged. It does not mean that the case is necessarily going to go anywhere, but we will read into it. Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
Donald Trump.
No, you didn't.
Is it spring break over?
I thought so. At all times relevant to this indictment, the Southern Poverty Law Center Incorporated was a nonprofit, tax-exempt 501c3, that means they are reliant on donations, organization headquartered in Montgomery, Alabama, which is located within the Middle District of Alabama. According to its website, quote, the SPLC is a catalyst for racial justice in the South and beyond, working in partnership with communities to dismantle white supremacy, strengthen intersectional movements, and advance the human rights of all people. To carry out this mission, the SPLC relied in part on public and corporate donations. Stop it. Ridiculous. As the SPLC explained on its website, with your help, we're standing up for the most vulnerable people in society, those who have no other champion. We're exposing hate and injustice, fighting discrimination, providing award-winning anti-bias material free of charge to schools across America. We never take legal fees from our clients, and we accept no government funding. Rather, we rely on the compassion and generosity of people like you. So again, they're putting in here how much that donors, they rely on donors. So let's go to the paid informants. Starting in the 1980s, the SPLC began operating a covert network of informants who were either associated with violent extremist groups, such as the Ku Klux Klan, or who had infiltrated violent extremist groups at the SPLC's direction. These informants were referred to by some individuals within the SPLC as the field sources or the Fs. What I'm going to ask you to do is to compare to informants within the FBI. Is the FBI funding hate groups by infiltrating hate groups? Just a question. Between at least 2014 and 2023, the SPLC paid their Fs in a clandestine manner. Doing so hid the fact that while the SPLC received donation money under the auspices that the funds would be used to dismantle violent extremist groups, this donation money was instead being used in part by the SPLC to pay leaders and others within these same violent extremist groups. That money was then used for the benefit of the individuals as well as the violent extremist groups. Did that money go into exposing them? Like how the FBI uses informants to expose and dismantle crime organizations or drug organizations or trafficking organizations. I'm just asking you, yeah, exactly, Jesse. I'm just asking you to compare where this case might go. They are accusing them of defrauding their donors because they were covertly paying informants inside hate groups and not dismantling them or exposing them. That's going to be a very difficult thing to fucking prove. Yes, the KKK. No, where'd they pay Antifa and BLM? Stop. Stop it. Lib Slayer, you know that you're talking about the Dixiecrats. You know you're not talking about the Democrats. You can talk it, sure. Democrats, sure. Who is it now? Who does the KKK affiliate with? Could it have been that there was an ideology change over a specific Southern strategy, maybe? George Wallace, maybe? Oh. Lee Atwater, maybe? Any of those names ringing a bell? Between 2014 and 2023, the SPLC secretly funneled more than $3 million in SPLC funds to Fs who were associated with various violent extremist groups. Examples of Fs who were secretly paid by the SPLC include, but are not limited to, the following. F-37 was a member of the online leadership chat group that planned the 2017 Unite the Right event in Charlottesville, Virginia. Remember, both good people on both sides. And attended the event at the direction of the SPLC. F-37 made racist postings under the supervision of the SPLC and helped coordinate transportation to the event for several attendees. Between 2015 and 2023, the SPLC secretly paid F-37 more than $270,000. But were they exposing them? So now they're going to list a whole bunch of people they paid. Totally fine. Again, I would like to have it investigated. I have no problem with that. The fictitious entities. So to secretly funnel donated money to the Fs individuals at the SPLC, including a person who would become the chief financial officer, employee 1, and a person who would become the director of intelligence project, employee 2, among others, opened a series of bank accounts at Bank 1 and Bank 2 in the names of various fictitious entities, including but not limited to the following. And it's going to list you the names. Now, my question would be, and I would like it investigated, did employee 1 and employee 2 do this at the direction of the SPLC, or was this them skimming off the top? That would be my question. Because then there would be fraud if it was just the two of them, and it would be if they were funneling money for personal use. But if they were funneling money at the direction to pay their sources for exposing hate groups, they were doing exactly what their job entails. Wire fraud. The facts set out in paragraphs 1 through 16 are fully incorporated in these counts beginning in or about 2014 and continuing through at least August 2023 in the Middle District of Alabama. The defendant, so they're saying the entire Southern Poverty Law Center, incorporated, devised, and intended to devise a scheme and artifice to defraud donors. So here's the thing. To prove that, you are going to have to find emails. You are going to have to find internal documents that say they knew that they were purposefully defrauding donors and funneling this money to hate groups. You are going to have to prove that. You are saying it was a scheme and artifice, malicious intent to defraud. You will have to prove that. And attempted to do so and to obtain money and property belonging to donors by materially false and fraudulent pretenses, representations, promises, and omissions. The purpose of the scheme. The objective of the scheme and artifice was to obtain money via donations through materially false representations and omissions about what the donated funds would be used for. To carry out the scheme and artifice, the SPLC explicitly sought donations under the auspices that donor money would be helped used to dismantle. So now we're going to have to legally define dismantle within the court. Violent extremist groups. In the SPLC solicitations for donations as outlined herein, donors were not told that some of the donated funds were to be used by the SPLC to pay high-level leaders of violent extremist groups and others, nor were donors ever told that some of the donated funds were used for the benefit of the violent extremist groups or that some of the donated funds would be used in the commission of state and federal crimes. Cool, maybe they should pay some of that money back. Are you going to ensure that it goes back to donors and not to the United States government? Because then I'd be fine with it. If they need to pay back some of their donors for false representation, I'm fine with that. Wire communications. For purposes of executing and attempting to execute the scheme and artifice set out in these counts did cause to be transmitted in interstate commerce by means of wire communications, certain signs and signals. Specifically, the SPLC caused interstate wire communications between Alabama and other states through the use of the automated clearinghouse system, ACH, which was utilized to transmit an ACH batch transfer from Bank 1 to various banks' accounts utilized by the Fs. Oh, duh, because that's how you pay people now. They're just not handing over money in an envelope, which I would be way more suspicious of. So it's going to give you the wire transactions because we have their, as a 501c3, specifically their records are super public, which is even more so. They're a nonprofit. Their records are fucking public as fuck. And even not, you can get subpoenas for this information. So counts 7 through 10, false statements to federally insured bank. saying that they knowingly made false statements on applications to a federally insured bank in violation of Title VIII. I want to see where that is. Open bank accounts for CIA, Fox Photography, Northwest Tech, and tech writers at Bank 1. Similarly, individuals at SPLC opened a bank account for Rare Books at Bank 2. The purpose of opening these bank accounts for the fictitious entities was to be able to conduct financial transactions that made it appear that the S were receiving money from the fictitious entities rather than receiving donated funds from the SPLC. I wonder why that could be. I wonder why you would want your informants. Do you think that FBI informants, when they get paid, that their check says FBI on it? I wonder why you would want your informants, who are infiltrating a group, a dangerous, violent extremist group, I wonder why you would want them to be being paid by somebody that wasn't listed as the SPLC. Maybe, like an FBI informant wouldn't want to be paid by the Federal Bureau of Investigations. That's how you get snitches killed. Okay? Okay. Idiots. You guys are dumb. I really want to see where this case goes. Because if there's fraud, go get it. I'm just saying. This sounds silly. Conspiracy to commit concealment of money laundering. I'm guessing they're subjugating that with the fictitious accounts. Yeah, they would, from one bank account, from the SPLC's bank account to the fictitious entity's bank account, sure. Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
Oh, I was just showing somebody in the YouTube chat that the phone is actually being picked up. So maybe find your balls. What about Biden?
What about Biden? Thanks, Eli. He's lying, by the way. Really is just in there lying and rage baiting. That's all that's happening. Guys, make sure we're still tapping that screen, sharing the live out, hitting our goals here. I've got, what do I got over here? The little donut. If we could complete the donut, that would be great. I would appreciate it. Make sure you're doing the thumbs up over there on YouTube as we go through this indictment that you guys refused to read. It's only 14 pages. It's really, really not that long. And you guys just don't have the common sense to actually use it. So again, this is talking about money laundering, and they're saying because they took money from the SPLC bank to the fictitious bank to pay the informant, that is money laundering. Forfeiture allegation. The allegations contained in counts 1 through 6 of this indictment are hereby re-alleged and incorporated by reference for the purpose of alleging forfeitures pursuant to Title 18 with a bunch of sections and codes. Southern Poverty Law Center shall forfeit to the United States pursuant to Title 18 United States Code sections blah, 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 any property, real or personal, which represents or is traceable to the gross receipts attained directly or indirectly from the offenses in violation of Title 18. So what they want is to completely dismantle the Southern Poverty Law Center. Good fucking luck. If anything, if there's fraud, they would owe it to their donors, not to the government. You could have read that on your own. It existed for you. You wanted to talk about it. You cried about wanting to talk about it. There's the indictment. An indictment doesn't prove guilt. Todd Blanche, I would like to see the case go through, but again, you can indict a ham sandwich. So we'll see how well this case goes for them, as many of their other cases have gone super fucking well for them. Okay. I would like to go back to the news real quick. I think we're going to have to get into Iran and the Warsh hearings tomorrow, which is totally fine. We can do that. But I did want to get into, real quick, this headline. So Texas can require public schools to display 10 commandments in classrooms, a court rules. Texas, which I said it again, the 9-8 decision by the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals delivered a boost to backers of similar laws in Arkansas and Louisiana. Opponents have argued that hanging the 10 commandments in classroom proselytizes to students and amounts to religious indoctrination by the government. In a lengthy majority opinion, the conservative-leaning appeals court in New Orleans rejected those arguments in Texas, saying that requirement does not step on the rights of parents or students. No child is made to recite the commandments, believe them, or affirm their divine origin. Cool. So then can we put stuff in from the Torah? Can we put stuff in from the Quran? I guess teachers can. I'm glad you guys opened the pathway. Also, maybe the, how many tenets? The doctrine of Satan, of the Church of Satan. Maybe we can do that too. If there's a very brave teacher in Texas, I would love to see that headline. It would make me very happy. But The American Civil Liberties Union and other groups that challenge the Texas law on behalf of parents said in a statement they anticipate appealing the ruling to the U.S. Supreme Court, which is probably where this is going to go. The Satanic Temple, yeah. I guess teachers can hang that up now, because it's not forcing the students to recite it, or believe it, or affirm it. I don't have a mute button on the phone call. I can put you on hold, but then you can't hear me and I can't hear you. But I don't have a mute button on my phone calls. And then this one, which Audrey covered. I think it should have been a way bigger fucking story. And yes, I'm playing it from Fox News. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is our idiot fucking government doing?
Good afternoon to you, John. New bombshell reporting out now that these U.S. officials who were killed over the weekend, alleged to be U.S. embassy officials assigned there, were in fact CIA operatives who were working on a Mexican cartel drug bust. This according to the Washington Post. Now, Mexico's president, Claudia Sheinbaum, says that Americans were not authorized to be in that region of the country and may have in fact violated Mexico's national security laws.
No teníamos conocimiento.
Now, I don't have any issue with our government going after cartels. The problem is we have to do it on this side of the border unless we are given explicit permission by the president. Claudia Sheinbaum does not seem to have given us that permission, and now we have 2 CIA members dead because of it. Great job.
We're not aware of any direct work or coordination between the state of Chihuahua and personnel from the U.S. Embassy in Mexico. So we are requesting all the information from the government of Chihuahua and also from the United States government and reviewing whether there is any violation of the national security law.
At this site, it was a suspected chemical drug lab run by Mexican cartels. U.S. as well as Mexican officials managed to seize chemical reactors, mixing instruments and storage containers, gas tanks, all this in a rural part of Mexico's Chihuahua region. Where these 2 American officials and actually 2 Mexican officials also with the local Chihuahua State Investigation Agency all died.
There was a convoy of 5 vehicles. The crashed vehicle was in front, leading the convoy. It was nighttime. We are talking about around 2 a.m., and it appears to have skidded in one area and fallen into a ravine, causing the pickup truck to explode.
So all of this, John, as you can imagine, raises some meaty questions about the U.S. relationship with Mexico. President Trump, as you well know, often touts his closeness with Mexico's president. She is now calling out the United States and saying your officials weren't authorized to be here. She's also investigating, as I mentioned earlier, to see now whether they violated any national security laws. And, John, all this against the backdrop of these 2 countries trying to renegotiate the USMCA trade deal right now. John.
Well, that's a mess, isn't it? Maybe we need to actually coordinate with people we consider our allies. Maybe that would be a good idea. Instead of just doing dumb fuckery. Probably be a better idea. Okay, let's go back down here. We are going to do... So, we talked about Kash Patel. Kash Patel is suing The Atlantic because The Atlantic did an article on... over 2 dozen, I believe it was over 2 dozen sources within the FBI, claiming that he is paranoid, drinking a lot, that there was a supposed incident where he was in his office and nobody could get to him, and they had to use like a battering ram to wake him up, and they attributed that might be because of drinking. The video I'm going to play right now is that he had an issue with logging into the computer at one point in time. I think it was like a tech thing, an update thing, but he thought he was fucking fired. And so he was running around the FBI paranoid that he got fired. So they're going to ask him about the computer login issue. And he asks if we can hold a survey, which is an interesting thing because, like, again, this fucking anecdotal experience. How many people think that's a silly, silly fucking way to answer a question as the fucking FBI director, one of the most important cabinet positions that we have in our government, to answer a legitimate question about the login issue by saying, can we hold a survey? How many people here? Raise your hand if you think. I know it's going to be difficult to see if he's staring at you, but just listen to his words. I know that his eyes don't match where he talks, but it's okay. And he's going to say something interesting. Olive played it this morning, and I didn't catch it when I played it yesterday. I played it yesterday, like researching. He says, quote, report false lies. If anybody remembers anything, double negatives. But we'll get there when we get there.
You in court.
Explain the computer login issue. Just explain the computer login issue. You were not able to log into your lawsuit contends that you were not able to log into the system. What did you think after you were unable to log into the system?
Let's have a survey. How many of you people believe that's true?
I do. I absolutely fucking do. I absolutely fucking think you didn't know your password.
Hang on.
Did you communicate?
You
with
asked the question. Let me answer it.
No, let me.
No.
Did
You answered a question with a question.
you communicate with anyone that you thought you were fired after you were unable to log into?
The problem with you and your report, don't cut me off.
Yeah, Lib Slayer, you haven't seen me debate nobody because nobody calls in. I had a guy yesterday, actually. He tokenized his Cuban wife. It was great. I'm getting the clip together for that right now.
You asked the question.
Straightforward question.
The problem with you and your baseless reporting is that is an absolute lie. It was never said. It never happened. And I will serve in this administration as long as the president and the attorney general.
He sounds drunk right now. Like, listen to him.
It was never said. It never happened. And I will serve in this administration as long as the president and the attorney general want me to do so. And every time you guys report false lies, every
time you guys report false lies, let's do a lesson on double negatives. Every time you guys report false lies, what does that mean? Truths. They're reporting truths? A false lie is a truth, right? It's not nitpicking, Goku. That is language. That is language. If you report a false lie, it is a truth.
Every time you guys raise baseless, as long as the president and the attorney general want me to do so. And every time you guys report false lies, every time you guys raise baseless questions, when we are here to talk about the Southern Poverty Law Center's $3 million decade-long scheme to fraudulently fleece Americans.
Well, we'll see how that goes in court, baby. I just read the indictment. Ooh.
You are off topic.
Jesse, that's literally what I said this morning to my husband when we were in the car. I said, Cash Patel's drinking works hard, but Freudian slips work harder.
Straightforward question. Did you talk to anybody about whether you thought
The
you were
simple
fired?
answer to your question is you are lying. And every time you do so, I've answered your question.
No, you didn't.
It's simply as follows. I was never locked out of my system.
You guys are unwell. D-Lo said this girl thinks Spanish is the Native American language. Didn't say that. Never fucking said that. It would be indigenous, and Spanish would not be. No, because conquistadors. Yeah, okay.
Systems. Anybody who says it.
Your lawsuit says the opposite. Your lawsuit contends.
Anyone that says the opposite is lying. Thank you.
The lawsuit that you filed says that
Look, man, stop. You're being extraordinarily rude.
Oh, wait. I forgot that. I don't know why is he not on the screen? Why wasn't he on the screen for that? How long was he gone? Let's go back, because that was hilarious. Go back.
Fraudulently fleece Americans. You are off topic.
It's a simple, straightforward question. Did you talk to anybody about whether you thought
The
you were
simple
fired?
answer to your question is you are lying. And every time you do so, I've answered your question. It's simply as follows. I was never locked out of my systems. Anybody who says
Your
it,
lawsuit says the opposite. Your lawsuit contends.
anyone that says the opposite is lying. Thank you.
The lawsuit that you filed says that
Look, man, stop. You're being extraordinarily rude.
What? Baby back bitches. They're such cucky little bitches. Yeah, I'm getting stuff on that too, Meaty. That was for tomorrow. I'm getting clips of RFK getting fucking dug the fuck up. What baby back bitches? You got it, Audie. You're being extremely rude. Like, his job is not to be nice. His job is to ask you a question, and you didn't answer it. You didn't answer it. You cried.
And I know maybe that's part of your profession, but please just stop. If you ask a question, he can answer it. And then
he didn't answer it.
Wait, now you're interrupting me. Like, just a little bit of respect, man. Just a tiny little bit. Try it sometime.
How about fuck off? How about that?
Go ahead.
You in court.
The question was, did he tell people in the FBI that he was fired, and he thought he was fired after he was locked out of the computer. I act like Joy Reid. Good for me. Love Joy Reid. She's fucking fantastic. And then here's a question to Patel on that drinking for his administration.
Where we are today.
Patel, I do want to give you an opportunity to respond directly to the allegations.
Guys,
in
keep
the
tapping,
Atlantic
please.
Protocol that your unexplained absences created a national security risk. And beyond that, can you say definitively?
Also, that Mark, yeah, the respect. They need to give him respect, but like Trump gives people respect. He's so respectful, such a respectful president.
That you have not been intoxicated or absent during your tenure as FBI director?
I can say unequivocally that I never listened to the fake news mafia.
I didn't say that indigenous was a Native American word, silly. Native American is also not a Native American word, silly. Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
And I recorded line.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah. And as when they get louder, it just means I'm doing my job. This FBI director has been on the job twice as many days as every director before me. What that means.
What? Try that again.
As when they get louder, it just means I'm doing my job. This FBI director has been on the job twice as many days as every director before me. What that means is I've taken half as many days off as those before me.
So then, were you technically clocked in when you used the jet that's designated for the FBI director to go see your young girlfriend's concerts? Were you on the clock when you were drinking with the Olympic team, slamming down beers? We paid for that? We paid for you to do that? Shit. Sounds like some fraud, because that's not what you promised me that you were going to do, right?
Before me. What that means is I've taken half as many days off as those before me. What that means is I've taken a third less vacation than those before me. What that means is that this FBI...
That's not, I don't think that's how that math, hold on, wait. What? Twice as many days as the people before me.
As many days off.
Half as many
those
days
before
off.
Me. What that means is I've taken a third less vacation than those before me. What that...
Are days off not vacation? Is it a half or is it a third? Which one fucking is it, Cash? What?
That means is that this FBI, with this Department of Justice, has dropped the murder rate 20 points. What that...
Sure. Except for that part.
Was going to happen.
Murder rate already going down, down, down.
Was going to happen.
Murder rate already going down, down, down.
See, I thought watching it this morning, I was just really, really tired. I wasn't paying attention. I don't know. And I'm a little bit more awake than I was, but still doesn't make sense.
Tommy, and I hate fractions. Everybody in my life, specifically my husband, can tell you how much I hate fractions when you're baking, when you're cooking, and you get like, you need 2/3 of a cup. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Give me simple fucking measurements. I don't like it. And so, like, the fact that 1/3 equals a half, I guess, is easier for me now. I just drop it on Spotify. Like, what? It does make me feel drunk to listen to him. That's true.
That means is this FBI, with this Department of Justice, has captured 8 of...
Guys, can we keep tapping that screen? We should be well on our way to 75,000 likes by now. So we're just not tapping, and we need to get tapping. I would appreciate it. Also, my donut goal has not been fulfilled. Let's work on that. If you're over on YouTube, if you could hit the thumbs up if you have not already, that would be wonderful. Hi, Phantom. I see you over there on Twitch as well. Good to see you. Guys, and I have 6.5 left in my goal. If we could get a dollar train going, remember, this is how I pay my bills. This is my job. So if we could get a dollar train going while we watch the hilarity of drunk Cash Patel explaining his drunkardness, I would appreciate it. We could get this goal accomplished. That would be great.
The top 10 most wanted fugitives in the world.
What? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What happened? What happened? What happened? Why is, oh my God. What happened?
So Cash Patel, hi. Cash Patel referencing his attendance. This FBI director has been on the job twice as many days as every. Yeah, this is the claim that I gave to Gemini. Just his quote that he's been on the job twice as many days as every director before him. What that means is that he's taken half as many days off, which that math already doesn't math. What that means is that I've taken a third less vacation day than those before me. Verdict: statistically illiterate.
Your Gemini is so sassy. I don't.
The short version: this is what happens when you try to use alternative math to justify a productivity flex. Patel's claim suggests a fundamental misunderstanding of how ratios, percentages, and, let's be honest, basic linear time work.
Can you help me train my Gemini to do that? I love that.
I can send y'all this gem.
Jeez. What the heck is that? That's wild.
And then it breaks down further. But that the short version was
Yeah, fucking plenty. Lib Slayer, you're over there crying again, saying, why would I need somebody's phone number? So the Google Voice, I don't allow unknown numbers to call me because most of the time they just tend to slur out, say the F slur or the N slur, or say they hope that I get sexually assaulted. So no, I don't allow unknown numbers to call in, but I'm not tracking your fucking number. The only ones I have saved in here are RF Kidding Me and our Minnesota friend. And I only have one. So what I write down is the state, who you voted for, and your age. However order that you give that to me is what I write that in. Okay. And then like what you started talking about. That's all the information that I write down. The only number that I have written down, which is on this page, and I'm not going to show you, but the only number I wrote down was for my own safety because this person doxed me. And I have 2 children, and y'all are psychopaths. And instead of just saying, I don't like this bitch and moving on, he decided he was going to dox me. So his was the only number that I wrote down so that I could report him. Okay? I don't give a fuck enough to care about your numbers. You don't have to trust me, then leave. You don't have to trust me, then leave. But don't say that I'm like tracking your numbers. I don't give a fuck. They are in a list. Yeah, I don't look at them after I log off. I put on Do Not Disturb, and I exit out of the fucking window, and I move on with my life. It's that easy.
So you said you write it down in whatever order they give it to you. So is the beginning of your list just capital Trump?
Usually, actually, yeah. Let's say we have a lot of. I got Trump 38. I got Trump 32. Trump New York. Oh, 33. He did give me his age first.
The 3 questions is so hard for them.
Darren, the fact that you're admitting that is interesting, but that's lovely. Thank you for pointing yourself out so that we can put you in. Let's see, how do we get rid of you? We'll just report
Blue,
you.
which BLM bake product would you like me to R&D next?
Let's see, what do we have on?
Now, I feel like that list that's in the chat is not all of them. I feel like we're missing a bunch.
We're missing some. I need to get everybody to go in and do their BLM bake sales because we had wrote some down, but
Not Chicky automatically hitting the BLM chat.
All
The
right,
rest branches cake.
we'll let Cash Patel finish slurring, I guess.
World, twice as many as the Biden administration did in its entire 4 years. What that means is this FBI has seized enough fentanyl off the streets to kill 178 million Americans, a 31% increase.
No.
What that means is this FBI and this DOJ has arrested 43% more spies in 14 months than the entirety of the Biden administration. What that means is this FBI has seen a reduction in opioid overdose deaths up to 20% alone. What that means is that we have found 6,300 child victims, 6,300 families have their kids back. That is a 22% increase from the Biden administration.
I want to see those stats and where they came from, Patel. That would be great if you did, but we're talking about your drinking.
I'm on the job. I'm the first one in. I'm the last one out. I'm like an
Well, that's because you have to stumble. That's just the drinking.
everyday American who loves his country, loves the sport of hockey, and
Meaty, that's great. He also found 99 bottles of beer on a wall, and they're all gone now.
champions my friends when they raise a gold medal and invite me in to celebrate. I've never been intoxicated on the job, and that is why we filed a 250.
So then what was the Olympics? Were you not on the job? Because everything that you've told us is that you were on the job at the Olympics doing security, and yet we have video of you chugging beer. So you've never been intoxicated on the job ever? So that was a vacation. So they lied. You lied about it being security. Which one is it? Were you lying then or were you lying now? He was drinking Michelob Ultra, so it doesn't count. You just lied again.
$1 million defamation lawsuit, and any one of you that wants to participate, bring it on. I'll see you in court.
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
Ooh, he's gonna take you to court.
Oh no. Oh no, buddy.
That gives me the feeling of when your name gets called and you have to go down to the office. It's ooh.
Let me send these to Audrey before I forget. Okay.
So his stats that he gave, the verdict, highly misleading / statistical gaslighting. Cash Patel is playing a high-stakes game of credit grab, attributing long-term national trends and multi-agency successes to his 14-month tenure. He's taking the complex work of thousands of career civil servants and slapping his own name on the trophy with math that feels more like a creative writing project than a data report.
Okay. What do you mean? Lifetime says it wasn't security. He was at a meeting during the day, hockey game at night while off work. Stop lying, you left us scum. That's not what he told us, though. When people reprimanded him, when the media was coming out and saying, hey, why were you drinking with the hockey team when you were there in the capacity of being the FBI director? They said he was there for security. Like, that's how they answered. They didn't say he was off and enjoying his time. Trump's VA is now charging disabled veterans for their travel reimbursement, $6 for each claim. Fucking hell. Money, that's all they care about. Which, speaking of, you want to see somebody else lie about something that was free and is now not? Here's Scott Bessent.
You spoke compellingly about an interest in making the IRS easier to access, more efficient. Yet you shut down the direct file program. I was very disappointed by that. More than 300,000 taxpayers used it last year. It is a quick, free, U.S. government-provided way to file taxes. The average American who has simple tax filing spends $270 and 13 hours filing their taxes through paid services. Direct file saved the average participant $160. 90% rated it favorably. And the alternatives are run by for-profit tax prep companies designed to steer filers towards paid alternatives.
By the way, this has nothing to do with the actual video, which we're getting to, also the smirk, but that's what made me think about it. Again, remember to go back to it because this is not on topic, but we're talking about the direct file program from the IRS. The direct file program was free. Bessent's about to lie to you and say that it was not. It was free up until last year when the Trump administration ended it being free. But Bessent's got the same fucking eyeball thing that Newsom has, and I don't like it. They look like fucking raptors, and it freaks me out. I just want everybody to be aware of that. I don't like their eyeballs. They're scary.
Why'd you shut down direct file when it was free and easy to use?
Well, it wasn't free, and the
direct file was free to taxpayers.
Not to the American people. It's $138 per person. So $72 million for, as you said, about 300,000 taxpayers. There is an alternative, which is public-private partnership, free file, which is free to the American people. and filers, over 3 million people use that. And for direct file, more than 60% of the people who started their application didn't finish it.
Except it was free. It used to be. I'm trying to find when there was all those stories about him. Unfortunately, everything is so fucking new now with Patel that it's hard to find the old stories to get the initial responses. Everything is now like an update, and I hate that. I want the original stories that I had before about him. And then Besant also goes on, though, to admit that, yeah, gas prices are fucked. And why are they fucked? Well, they're fucked until Donald Trump figures out what to do with the war. So at least we have that admittance. That up.
How fast will the prices of gasoline come down?
Again, that is path dependent on when the war and the conflict end.
Well, how fast will the price?
Depends on when it ends. Because you were saying that wasn't the response, was that he was working. Let's see. This one, February 27th of 2026. Okay. Trump told FBI Director Kash Patel he didn't like his Olympics hijinks. Trump told Patel directly that he wasn't pleased about his viral locker room partying with the U.S. men's hockey team, as well as his use of a government jet to travel to Italy. Huh. President Trump was disappointed in FBI Director Kash Patel's behavior at the Milan Cortina Winter Olympics and conveyed his displeasure in a conversation with him, according to a person familiar with the matter. Patel went viral for his locker room celebration with the U.S. men's hockey team after its win against Canada on Sunday, the first time the U.S. team had taken home gold since 1980. In a video that was first posted by ProPublica, Patel, an avid hockey fan, chugged a beer and banged on a table while yelling in an exuberant display of celebration. Trump, who does not drink, told Patel he was unhappy not only with that scene but also with Patel's use of government aircraft for the trip to Milan, according to a person familiar with the matter. The FBI declined to comment on whether Trump was upset with Patel. In a statement, White House spokesperson Abigail Jackson touted crime rates dropping across the board. This is a direct result of President's law and order agenda, which is being successfully implemented by his law and order team, including Kash Patel. By the way, there was still ongoing investigation going on into Charlie Kirk's killer. Maybe Patel should have been here. Would have been a good idea. Patel's trip to Italy coincided with the shooting of an armed man who entered the security perimeter of Trump's residence in Florida, Mar-a-Lago. Trump was not there. it was also that. I forgot. It was that same time frame. Patel maintained he was on an official trip in Italy, not just for the Olympics, but also to meet with Italian law enforcement as well as U.S. agencies providing security at the event. For the very concerned media, Yes, I Love America was extremely humbled when my friends, the newly minted gold medal winners on Team USA, invited me into the locker room to celebrate this historic moment with the boys. Greatest country on earth and greatest sport on earth. Where is he saying that he was off, that he wasn't working? He's the FBI director. They don't have time off. Okay, we'll keep that one in there for you too, because I keep my sources. Okay. Glad we could get there. I'm sure there's going to be more on Besant because I think he's in front of Congress right now.
There was also that same week, or was it? It might have been the next week, or at least the week of February 27th. The FBI, at the direction of Patel, fired at least 10 employees linked to the 2022 search of Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate.
Doing such a good job. Trace Branch's cake. I shouldn't have read the Discord. Okay. What can I do with 30 minutes that I have that's going to fit into the time frame here? Let's do some Iran. I think I can fit Iran in here. So, Trump declared the ceasefire is extending, even though he just recently did an interview. Again, we're back to the back and forth, the whiplash from the Trump administration. I am suing. Elmo is going to sue. Is that although he said that if a deal is not reached, we will continue to bomb, he then truthed out that there's an extension. Statement of President Donald J. Trump. Just in case you forget, he says it's in his name. He says it here at the top, and he's going to say it at the end, just in case you forget who he is. I think he forgets who he is. Based on the fact that the government of Iran is seriously fractured, not unexpectedly so, and upon the request of Field Marshal Asim Munir and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif of Pakistan, we have been asked to hold our attack on the country of Iran until such time as their leaders and representatives can come up with a unified proposal. I have therefore directed our military to continue the blockade and, in all other respects, remain ready and able, and will therefore extend the ceasefire until such time as their proposal is submitted and discussions are concluded one way or another. So he just declared that on his own. So he tacoed again. Big tacos. We love to see that. And then ceasefire is going on, except Fox News is reporting this.
There is supposed to be a ceasefire, but we are getting these reports of 3 separate ships attacked in the Strait of Hormuz this morning. The third cargo ship, the most recent, reportedly has been attacked while attempting to transit the strait. It may have a Panama flag on it. And earlier, the British military reported one of its ships was attacked as well. We don't have the confirmed attacker, but, Iran is suspected here. There is supposed to be a ceasefire,
So ceasefire is not going well. Are we shocked? No. And here is also Fox reporting on the fact that the U.S. government has been trying to guarantee insurance to these corporations for their ships if they're just willing to be brave enough to go through. And the corporations are saying, fuck you.
That's when the president about a month ago came up with, I forget the name of the government agency. He said, well, guess what? We will insure you. The United States will insure any ships that want to pass through here, and we'll do it at a cheaper rate than Lloyd's of London. So typical President Trump is a businessman just thinking, you know what? Well, we'll insure you. But even with that, some of the business owners were like, yeah, I'd rather keep my ship than get a check from the U.S. government. That's going to take a year or two for me to claim. So Ken, great question. I'm pretty sure the strait is open. We know it's open because last week, I think it was two destroyers from the United States Navy cruised through and then back out just to kind of demonstrate.
Woo! 2 ships that aren't oil tankers made it through. Yay! It was open before this, remember. It was open before this. Aw, what I think. Thank you for reminding me to do a lovely little mod announcement. You told me to get a real job and stop begging. Guys, I have about 23 minutes left of the show before I am done for the day. So if you guys would like, I would appreciate it. There are 65 left on my goal. If we do a $1 train or a $2 train, we could definitely get that accomplished. So the link tree in my bio has my Cash App, my Venmo, my PayPal if you would like to contribute to that and to show what I think that this is a real job and I get paid for it. I made my entire 100 yesterday, so I damn sure know I can. Over here on TikTok, though, let's make sure we are tapping. We have not hit 100,000 likes this week yet. I don't think we're going to hit it today, but you guys do like to be bullied, so maybe you can do it a little bit better. Remember, your partners will thank you for what them fingers do, so let's work on that. And I do have the little cacti up there if you want to help contribute to that as well, but I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, What I Think, for reminding me about my grifting job.
That as well. So it's open, but for all intents and purposes, it's half closed because of risk management out of privately owned companies. That's when.
So is it open or is it half closed? Again, we're doing weird fractions again. We seem to like to do that. So there's this one.
I'd just like to point out that they love to complain about you, quote unquote, not having a real job and being on here when they're also here hate watching.
Oh yeah, are you here on the job? Because you should probably work on that, huh? Thank you, Daryl, for complaining the cactuses. I appreciate you. Let me do. Just gonna put that because it's easier. Okay. So there was supposed to be another meeting again in Islamabad, and J.D. Vance and Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner were waiting on pins and needles about whether they were going to have to fly out to Islamabad, Pakistan to talk to the leaders. Iran kept saying, nah. But they were still sitting there just checking their watch, like, are we going? Are we not going? Well, that shit fell apart. And specifically, we're going to do this reporting of it first, the CNN reporting, and then we're going to get to Jesse Waters, because Jesse Waters is actually going to admit Nobody knows who's in charge. As much as Donald Trump wants to say there has been regime change, as much as they want to say that this new regime is much more reasonable to talk to, they have no fucking clue who's in charge. They have completely disrupted what's been going on in the Middle East and in Iran. But here's CNN's reporting on the dismantling of that meeting, the falling apart of it completely.
Come on the air tonight, we have new reporting on how we went from President Trump saying this morning from the White House that he didn't want to extend his own ceasefire with Iran to doing just that this afternoon.
But the deadline for the ceasefire is tomorrow. If it looks like things are progressing, will you not necessarily extend it to a definitive amount of time, but will you let it keep going if there's progress in the talks before taking...
well, I don't want to do that.
So to be clear, you're saying that you need at least the prospects for a signed deal today and tomorrow, or else you would resume bombing Iran.
I expect to be bombing because I think that's a better attitude to go in with, but we're ready to go. I mean, the military is raring to go.
That was the president's sentiment just after 8 a.m. this morning. But by 4 p.m. here in Washington, he had extended that ceasefire, saying, quote, "We have been asked to hold our attack on the country of Iran until such time as their leaders and representatives can come up with a unified proposal. I've therefore directed our military to continue the blockade and in all other respects remain ready and able, and will therefore extend the ceasefire until such time as their proposal is submitted and discussions are concluded one way or the other." Now, that Truth Social post there came after the president had spent the afternoon, I'm told, huddling with his national security team in the West Wing. While that was happening, Air Force Two was sitting on the tarmac at Joint Base Andrews.
Somebody said because the blockade is working. Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
My name is Phil. I'm from Georgia, and I voted for Donald Trump, and I'm 30.
Okay. Why are you still supporting Trump?
So, the reason I support Trump is, he's evil. He really exposes satanic values, like how he was on Epstein's island and how he sacrifices human beings. He's evil, and I'm an evil person. I love evil. I'm an evil choice voter, I vote for the evil candidate,
Well, at least you can be self-aware about that. I do appreciate that, Phil. At least you're self-aware. We do like that. By the way, guys, over on Twitch, I think I fixed Nightbot. I think I did. I was able to go into the chat filters and calm that bitch down. So I think I fixed Nightbot for you. I apologize that she was being a goddamn Karen over there. For those who say in the YouTube chat, though, that they hate Caitlin Collins, what's wrong with you?
And the administration was deciding, should the vice president, J.D. Vance, board his plane and head to Pakistan for the next round of negotiations with the Iranians?
Oh, Christian, you Dems don't like to admit gas prices were higher under Biden. You make excuses for it. Which part? When were they higher under Biden? Let's do this. Here we go. Ready? Okay. Crude oil per barrel. We got to go down to 10 years now. That's how long it's been. It's easier to do it this way. It's at 92 today. Okay? The height that it got because he started a fucking war was 111 on March 30th. Okay? Let's go to when Trump took office, January 20th of 2025. Sorry, let me get up here because it's in the 70s and I know it. Boop. 74. $74 a barrel when Biden left office. Oh, did you want to, I'm sorry. Did you want to go here? Did you want to live and die in June of 2022 when it was 115? Is that what you wanted to do? Oh, yeah, because supply chain issues, post-COVID. Oh, Trump's OPEC plus 2020 deal. Not when he left office, get it right. He specifically just said that. Not when he left office. Of course not when Biden left.
So you don't want to talk about how he was able to get the gas prices down after a global catastrophe, but you want to talk about when the prices were up in the midst of the global catastrophe.
Interesting.
Okay.
No. You just called me. It was funny. We did the joke. Don't call me.
And like, if you have like alternative like
facts.
Data or anything, yeah, alternative facts. If you have if some data to prove money wrong, then why aren't you like in the queue or calling?
Yeah, bring
Why
that
are
to
y'all
me.
so like we know the answer is because y'all don't have any data. Y'all just go off of vibes.
In 2022.
Mm-hmm. You just live in 2022 and have never moved on.
As was he when he was there just a few weeks ago, as you can see here. But today the administration was dealing with an issue, virtual silence that they were getting from the Iranians. Now, I've learned that in recent days, the United States had sent Iran a list of broad points that they wanted them to agree to in advance of the next round of talks, of J.D. Vance getting on Air Force Two and going back to Islamabad. But days went by without the United States getting a response, raising questions
because Iran said nah,
and suspicions about whether or not much could be achieved in person. Officials had urged the top mediator from Pakistan to get at least some kind of response from Iran before the vice president boarded his flight. But still, hours later, an official tells me there was nothing. That radio silence.
I knew that you were trolling. You're good.
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to clarify. I've called in like a few times before, like months ago. Just wanted to clarify. My name's Mary. I'm a comedian, and yeah, I've been messing with you, so I'm sorry about that.
No worries.
Anyway,
you don't have to
hope you have a great
apologize.
day.
We've got you. No worries. I promise you, we knew. That's why we laughed. You're good.
Is up.
CNN is fake news. Well, then hold your horses, Jeff. Let Caitlin finish, and then we'll get to Jesse Waters, who said the exact same thing, that the meeting fell apart.
Far cry, though, from the confidence that we had heard coming from President Trump just a few days ago on Iran.
This process should go very quickly, and that most of the points are already negotiated and agreed to.
Now, cut to today, and the president's top aides basically believe one of the biggest reasons they did not hear back from the Iranians on what they wanted to just get these talks started is due to fractures within the current Iranian leadership. The administration's sense is that the Iranians don't have.
Can anybody guess what Christian's response was about Biden and the gas prices? Can anybody guess what he brought up? Just guess what he brought up.
Well, please tell me he's not talking about the key line pie line. I haven't even opened up YouTube to look.
Biden stopped the pipeline and prices went up.
Jesus Christ. Y'all just don't know anything.
I actually was going to show for Christian. We're never going to get to Jesse Waters because Christian is upsetting spaghetti. Let's do price per gallon now. How about we do that since you don't seem to understand crude? It's fine. Oh, I don't want the EIA because I don't like that chart. This one's easier. Let's look. 10 years. Okay. Let's go find January of 2025 because that's when Donald Trump took office.
Where's my...
There you go. It was $2.06 a gallon when Joe Biden left office. It's $3.34 a gallon now. Okay, Christian? I understand you don't like the facts. Look into the Montana Supreme Court in 2018 canceling the permit for the Keystone XL pipeline, which was a pipeline for Canada's tar sands oil, which is not used for gasoline. Go ahead and look into that, Christian, because you've never read it. The Montana Supreme Court under Trump's administration canceled the permit because it was going through indigenous lands, and it was a shortcut for the Keystone, which is already still running. It is a Canadian pipeline that was never finished for tar sands oil. Try again.
Yep, the Excel was an extension.
All Joe Biden did was release the permit that was already canceled so that the people who were contracted there could go work somewhere else. He didn't cancel it. He got rid of the permit. Do we really have to do that? We have to do this. Okay. Fine, we haven't done this in a while. It's
2026 and y'all still don't know the difference between the Excel and the
Are
the
we
main
talking
pipeline.
about the goddamn?
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's 2026.
And he's not even calling. I can't swan him.
Oh, it was 2020. Excuse me. I apologize. 2020. U.S. Supreme Court deals blow to Keystone Oil Pipeline project. Okay, let me zoom in for you. Let me zoom in for you here. July 6th of 2020. Who was president in 2020? Okay. The U.S. Supreme Court handed another setback to the Keystone XL oil sands pipeline from Canada on Monday by keeping in place a lower court ruling that blocked a key environmental permit for the project. Canadian company TC Energy needs the permit to continue building the long-disputed pipeline across U.S. rivers and streams. Without it, the project that has been heavily promoted by President Donald Trump faces more delay, just as work on it had finally begun this year following years of courtroom battles. Monday's Supreme Court order also put on hold an earlier court ruling out of Montana as it pertains to other oil and gas pipelines across the nation. That's a sliver of good news for an industry that just suffered two other blows: Sunday's cancellation of the $8 billion Atlantic Coast gas pipeline in the southeast, and a Monday ruling that shut down the Dakota Access oil pipeline in North Dakota. Uh-oh! Uh-oh! SpaghettiOs! All Biden did was an executive order to release the fucking permit that was already canceled from the court. You idiot. Biden was president in 2020? I'm done with y'all.
Yo.
Get help. Get fucking help. Seek help.
So apparently the DOJ withdrew their subpoena in John Brennan's investigation.
I'm shocked.
I sent the article in your Discord.
Oh my god. Are you guys sick of winning yet? Are you guys just like tired of winning? Oh.
I don't think they know that song because they keep calling me singing Eminem.
In reversal, Justice Department withdrawal subpoenas in John Brennan investigation.
Also, Representative David Scott passed away at 80. That man didn't look 80 from what I can see.
That's because
I know
of conversations where we sit on the carpet.
Yes.
Anyway, back to Caitlin Collins, you delusional fucks.
Consensus on their position or know how much to empower the people who are going and negotiating in person on things like uranium enrichment and the current stockpile of enriched uranium. Now, part of that complicating factor, the United States believes, is whether or not the new Supreme Leader,
Also, you guys are really, really close to hitting 100,000. I fucking love that I have to bully you. I am more of a praise kink kind of gal, but you know what? You guys like the degradation. So, you guys have been very, very bad, very naughty for this education that I'm fucking giving to you and to the fucking people in the YouTube chat. I just had to explain the Keystone XL pipeline again in the year of our Lord 2026. I just had to do that. So, if we could get that goal, that 65 down, I would appreciate it. Because what the fuck are we doing here? Hi, friend. How are you?
Hey, good. Sorry for calling back, but I think it's funny. It's like you come out with all these facts. You're looking for education. They just can't do it.
They can't do it. I will bring it up on the screen for them. I have no problem doing that.
You know, but you always ask them, bring your shit and show me. You're looking for proof, you know? Mm-hmm. So that's what I think. Anyway, all of you, yes, I will go out for coffee with you. Okay, babe?
We love that.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Kaba Khamenei is giving his support.
What?
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. Oh, Sparky?
Yeah, he likes that dirty talk.
Sparky.
$65 and you can get some non-shipped to you.
If you guys
begging me for bread.
Yeah, if you guys are not in my Discord and not in the BLM bakery section of my Discord, my husband legitimately, thanks to a neighbor who has a 3D printer, made non-binary. That happened.
Coordinates clear directions, or if they're simply having to assess and guess what he wants without specific instruction from him while he's been in hiding. That's something that the president was alluding to in his Truth Social post about extending the ceasefire today. The U.S. believes that Khamenei's
No, I'm not begging for money. I was degrading for money. There's a difference, James.
efforts to remain hidden have actually disrupted internal Iranian government discussions. Now, as we sit here tonight, the president...
Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
21, Florida, and fucking nobody.
Why didn't you vote?
Because it's all a lie.
What is?
Red, blue, Republican, Democrat.
I'm not a lie.
You don't think that politics affect you in any way?
I believe it's all a stage show.
By who?
Whoever's really controlling the puppets that control our government.
Do the puppets have a specific ethnicity by chance? Do you know what the word ethnicity is? Do you know who the Bilderberg group is?
Those gears are like smoking right now.
Imagine being a Nazi, but only because like your dad was, but he didn't actually teach you the talking points to be a Nazi the right way. Like, can you imagine?
He was thinking so hard on how to not say yes, but also yes.
My God. Draco's Rose, thank you so much. I don't count. I get paid once a month with YouTube, so I don't technically count this towards my goal, but I definitely fucking count it and I appreciate it so fucking much. So I want to see big W's in the YouTube chat, in the Twitch chat, and in the TikTok chat. For Draco's Rose, $50 super chat. I don't know if you got any other money, but here's to your goal. I enjoy your takedowns of maggots. Thank you, Draco's Rose.
You get some non.
You get non.
You get some non.
Everybody's getting non. Thank you, Draco's Rose, so much. I appreciate it. It is huge support. And you probably just pissed off all of the maggots in the chat by doing that. Absolutely.
I think the next thing we need to make is the critical race crispy treats.
Ooh.
See, but so I was looking at that one.
Hang on. Maybe I can convince Manny. Okay, let me. BRB, I'm gonna text Manny to go to the store.
Okay, so olives on the Rice Krispie treats, but so my thing was like they can't be white.
No, you could marble them though.
Look, I also said I was bringing the accomplice egg salad. Okay.
You can't do that.
Accomplice egg?
No. Mm-mm.
Why not?
Whatever the fuck that is.
Oh my God.
Is there like the plates?
Yes.
Okay.
There's plates that look like eggs. Duh.
Her teacher texted me.
Uh-huh.
She said, I just had this with my lunch. It's so fucking good. I love this.
We sent the non-binary to her teacher today.
I love that.
Because we knew she'd get a kick out of it. You know, indoctrination and all that. Yeah, exactly. Crispy treats covered in chocolate. There should be chocolate Rice Krispie treats. It'd be fucking delicious.
Mm-hmm.
You can
But
also.
then they're white on the inside.
No, they're not. You fucking chocolate all of the Krispies before you put them together with the flour.
Oh, you could do Cocoa Krispies.
Duh.
You mean Cocoa Pebbles?
Oh, Cocoa Krispies.
Krispies.
Cocoa Pebbles, I feel like would disintegrate with the butter and the marshmallow.
Yeah,
it's not the same
it
texture.
would melt. Ooh, caramel drizzle. Ooh.
I don't think I know what Cocoa Krispies are.
They're
Krispies.
Rice Krispies, but cocoa.
Yep. There's chocolate Rice Krispies.
May just asked Justin if he is my non-binary husband. And Justin said I am non-binary. I'm not her husband. Why are you asking who people are sexually attracted to, May? That's weird. What is going on in the YouTube chat? What is going on? All right, Caitlin
Ooh,
Collins.
Rainbow Fruity Pebbles would be a good Pride one. Sorry,
want some
I
Cocoa
was just
Krispies.
stuck in the comments.
I know now. I want Cocoa Krispies too.
Hey, Blue, have you ever tried the Mexican version? It's Choco Krispies. They're so much better.
I have not.
It's like the Mexican version of chocolate or Cocoa
Yeah.
Pebbles. It's
Look in the Hispanic aisle.
aisle.
It's got a like elephant.
It does have an elephant.
Ended this ceasefire. There is no end date, as you noticed on that Truth Social post. No new deadline on how long this could go on. Despite our reporting tonight about the concerns about what's happening inside the Iranian government, I am told that U.S. officials do believe there is still a chance that the U.S. and Iranian negotiators could meet again soon. But if and when that happens is far from certain tonight.
And now, finally, since we finished that, since you guys don't like Caitlin Collins, your last little bit is going to be Jesse Waters saying the exact same thing. By the way, May, you said, doesn't that mean you don't care for any sex? I don't know what you're talking about because your gender identity has nothing to do with your sexual orientation. I think the wires are like super crossed there, babe. Figure it out.
Is calling the shots. Vance, Witkoff, and Kushner were supposed to leave for Islamabad, but they never took off because the Iranian delegation never took off. Which is suspicious because this morning, Trump said the gay Ayatollah authorized the deal. No one knows who's calling the shots. Vance,
which, by the way, yeah, he had the gay Ayatollah. Nobody knows who's in charge. This is the part. Listen, he's talking about the administration included.
Vance, Witkoff, and Kushner were supposed to leave for Islamabad, but they never took off because the Iranian delegation never took off, which is suspicious because this morning, Trump said the gay Ayatollah authorized the deal. No one knows who's calling the shots. Vance, Witkoff, and Kushner were...
No one knows. I'm glad Jesse Waters could come to grips with that. Nobody knows who's calling the shots.
Okay, they're gonna be gay Ayatollah house cookies.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Nope.
Thank you for calling the stream. Okay. And why'd you call? You called already.
They hung up because of the cookies. My bad.
And then May had to go off and say, if you're not part of the male-female binary, that means you're needing either, right? What? We're not talking about sex. We were talking about gender identity. I'm glad you guys...
Non-binary means you don't...
I think they meant that you're neither.
Mm.
And their phone might have auto-corrected and...
So, look, like the chat says that they're kind of on my side, so I feel like we should take a poll.
Okay, Cash Patel, let's take a survey. Who here wants gay Ayatollah House Pride cookies? It's crazy. They probably sell, is the crazy part, because...
This is the weirdest bake sale I've ever been part of.
Our Pride tent would be wild.
May, I think you're just bad at wording what you're trying to say. I don't think they're trying to be antagonistic. I think they're just bad at words.
Okay. I don't think you understand what non-binary means. In the context of gender identity, yes, I do. Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
Benjamin Netanyahu is a modern-day Hitler, and the United States
There it
is
is.
backing a genocide.
I mean, that's true. That's true. Let's take care of BB. I agree. That was the Nazi who doesn't know he's a Nazi. You're right, BB. But not like the entirety of the Jewish people. That's where you gotta work that out a little bit. Why do I make this such a hard question to answer? I'm sorry that science is hard, May. I'm so sorry that science and biology and psychosocial concepts are difficult to understand. You can oscillate between identify with neither, etc. There you go. That's a great way to talk about it. Oscillate.
I've always said to Monty I'd be a pretty woman, but...
Wait. She literally said she has a non-binary husband and thinks I don't know what the definition means. Not what I said.
What the fuck?
I said my husband made non-binary. Non. N-A-A-N. Like the bread. And you know what? Actually, I'll just pull up the fucking picture.
Just show the picture at this point.
It might be a misunderstanding, but help. Like, okay.
This went off the rails.
This is non-binary. It's a joke.
It's bread.
The amount of effort
to
put into
explain
such a
it further
fucking small
for you,
dad joke.
It's bread with binary code.
Mike said it's a non-issue.
It's a non-issue. Sparky commented on my video. He said, "So you're not going to share any with me?"
See? Pure said it's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
I was giggling when it came out last night. Like, I was giddy. I was like, "Money, come here, it worked."
No, the last time I checked, my husband identifies as he, him, but that's as far as I know. I wouldn't care if they did identify a different way.
Now May has pivoted away.
Yeah. I think everybody likes Crispies, May said. Good for you.
See, look at the amount of people in your chat that want non-binary. Like, you just got to open
non-binary.
You got to open a TikTok shop, and we could start selling these baked goods.
I don't think they do baked goods on the TikTok shop.
I mean,
no Ayatollah house cook. No, it's not happening. No.
That's the one we said no to.
It won by voice vote. We could take
voice vote is crazy.
The ayes beat out the nays.
Whose voice?
There were two ayes in the chat.
Oh God. Okay.
There was Mia and Kayla.
All right. Okay.
So we got to take a roll call vote.
Happy face if you want Ayatollah House cookies. Sad face if you don't.
Gay Ayatollah House cookies.
Gay Ayatollah House cookies. I'm going to regret this decision.
Y'all are unhinged.
Okay, I put a sad face.
Do you expect anything less from your chat, though?
No, I don't. I should have known better.
You should have known better.
You're Mm-hmm. I didn't do that. I didn't do it.
I did.
I'm done with him. Well, gay Ayatollah House cookies. Okay. On that note, Olive, you're going live, babe. Uh-oh, she's away. Ask Lindsey Graham. That's crazy.
Wait, what?
I said, are you going live?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't?
Maybe, yeah.
May, are you all right? Said, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were Jewish. I'm not. Not that would it matter if I was, but I'm not. Where did that come from? You're politically non-binary. Okay, May, good for you. We're done with you.
Politically non-binary.
We're done with May today. May might go over to Olive, so
No! I don't want it.
Jar of olives.
Let me get my thank yous out. So let's do the big W's. Thank you, Draco's Rose, for the $50 super chat. I appreciate you. Also, Phantom, I saw you cheered 100 bits. Thank you so much for cheering bits over there on Twitch. Thank you, Chicky, and thank you, Subu34. I appreciate your guys' support today so much. Guys, you also hit that 100,000 likes. I just had to be a little fucking mean to you, and I don't know why you guys like that, but you know what? You need a Dommy mommy. Here she is. So W you guys for hitting that 100,000 likes. We are going to raid Olive. Now, Twitch and YouTube, remember, I can send you there, so stick around. Bye, Olive. She weed herself again. But over here on TikTok, we are going to go raid Olive. It's been one of the funner chats or lives I've had today, so I appreciate that. I appreciate all of the giggles. I love you, Blue, and I'll see you over there.
Love you. Bye-bye.
No gay Ayatollah cookies. But I guess the people have spoken. Okay, yeah, Ayatollah House raid. That's what we're doing over here on TikTok. All right. Guys, I will see you tomorrow, Thursday, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, whatever time that is for you. Make sure when we go to Olives that we're doing all the good things. I don't think she had very much left in her goal. I think it was like 20 or something like that. So let's make sure that we are getting that done and accomplished. Let's tap that screen, share it out, do all of the good things over there. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you're spending time with friends and family. Do something nice for yourself. Drink water and take breaks from this crazy internet, whether it makes you laugh or makes you cry. That's the thing. But so TikTok, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Okay, let's get you guys set up over here on Twitch and YouTube. We'll get going here. If I can spell, it would be helpful. Did I not give her enough time? I might not have given her enough time. Let's see. Customization. Nope, not quite yet. Nope, not quite yet. We're going to sit here. We're going to sit here for a minute while we wait, I guess. Here, I'll play this while I see if we can get this going.
What's going to happen?
Murder rate already going down, down, down.
What's going to happen?
Murder rate already going down, down, down. Come on, get it together. She's not live yet. We might not be able to because I'm not finding her. She's not got it loaded up. I don't know what to do. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. Okay, well, I guess you guys go over there and Jar of Olives on YouTube and TikTok. I guess go do the things because I'm not finding her live yet. So I don't know why, but that is the way it is.